Hello, hi, welcome to another episode of Deepening Wells. This is your host, Jessica Mansi. Thank you so much for being here with us for another episode. I hope you have been enjoying the past content that we have been having. And today I am here with actually a special guest. And this person I heard for the first time when we had actually a lengthy conversation about his story, and I couldn't start being in awe of the glory of God that is shining in that. And I reached out to them for this, and I am sure, please, whatever that you're doing, pay attention to this episode, because I really do think that the Lord is going to encourage you through his story. I'm just excited to hear even more about that. But before I could go on and talk for literally 3 minutes, because I can, let me welcome him. Hey, welcome, Aaron.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
I'm so glad that you're here and you agreed to do this. I am not good with conversation starters, so I have created like a question that I ask all my guests on the episode. And the question is like, in this season of your life, what character of God is kind of being highlighted to you the most, or what name of God is coming to your mind?
I would say that his name, Jehovah Jireh, has really been such a important name for the season of my life. I've seen how he's made ways, even when it seemed like there would be no way. He's provided for me throughout this entire journey that I've had in my career, and I've just seen him show up in so many ways. So the first thing that comes to mind for sure has to be his name, Jireh.
Jehovah Jireh. I love that, because knowing him as a provider in so many different ways, it's something that I feel like can be so close to some people, but can also be very detached when you feel like, oh, I'm going through this, why God is not providing. But honestly, I really believe like in our lives, every time, wherever that we can look, we can find his footprint in that name in our lives. And I love that you brought that to our life. But probably even people who are listening to us can also catch up to that. Like you have like a stutter, but I don't, even like you being here, that shows that you don't shy away from that. And that was like the first reason that I wanted you to on this podcast, because I feel like even you accepting that, I think it's a testament for yourself. So, but before we get to there, I want to know like your story. How did you get to know God? Did you grow up a Christian? But you kind of mentioned about it, I think, when we were talking about like the songs, how you grew up in high school listening to the Christian rappers. But like, can you go back and tell us more about like your story? How did you become a Christian?
Yeah. So I was always raised in a Christian household. Is something that was just instilled in me. And so I was always raised in church and everything, but I don't think I could say I had a personal relationship with God until the end of high school. As everyone can tell, and as you mentioned earlier, I do have a stutter. It's a neurological condition that I've had since really early on in life, and it's something that I've really, for the longest time, really struggled with. And for the longest time, I would ask myself, well, if there's such a loving God, why would he allow this, right? He's filled me with a lot of intellect and a lot of potential. And yet when somebody asks me my name or just a simple question, I'm stuttering. And so for a long time, I had resentment against God. And I really questioned my faith. But I would say all that changed in my senior year of high school, when I was reading the book of Exodus, and I'm reading that story of Moses at the burning bush, and God has given him this incredible command, who set his people free from slavery in Egypt. One of the many disqualifications that Moses uses is that I'm slow of speech. In other words, he has a stutter. But what God said in reaction to that is really what made me feel so seen and heard in that moment. He said, "Who makes your mouth? Who allows you to speak. I'm going to be with you. And that's essentially all that matters. I remember in that moment shutting my Bible and just weeping. It was like in that moment, all of the emotions and all the anger and resentment I had melted away, and I felt so seen and heard in that moment. And I realized God can use anybody. And if Moses can be used by God, so can I. And the rest is history.
Praise God. Honestly, as you were speaking about this, it's crazy because I just realized even afterwards, he kept on saying, God, I can speak. Who am I going to say? And who do I say I am? And it's like, I will give you your brother, Aaron.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because that is your
That's
name.
my name, yeah.
And then your story is like the Moses story, but your name is like Aaron, and which I don't know if that is a coincidence. Maybe, might be, but for me, just like even thinking about it, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like God telling you, like, no, you have literally made in you Jesus, Aaron, who is gonna speak for you as well. And I just thought like that is a very beautiful story. And as you were speaking, Freud's also among my questions I thought of asking in the later time, but I feel like this is the moment. Like in the Bible, there's this story in John 7 where Jesus is going alongside with disciples and they see a blind man. And I think in the books of law, the Jewish tradition, they believe that if someone has something going on their body, it's because either their parents had sinned or they had sinned. And they ask Jesus, he's like, who among these people, is it the child or his parents who sinned? And he's like, no, it's none of them who has sinned, but it was for the glory of God.
Yeah.
And I loved how you said in your story how like God was like, who made the mouth? And it's like, it's also for his glory. So is there also in your life, except that moment in your senior high school, but any other moments where you feel like God kept reassuring you, it's like, this is not your fault, it's for my glory?
I would say that the greatest example of that is the fact that in a week's time, I'll be graduating from medical school. It's just an incredible story of how good God is, even in spite of our weakness, and just how things that we may use to disqualify ourselves, God sees them as opportunities for his glory. I remember once being in the hospital, seeing a patient, and of course throughout the patient encounter, I'm stuttering and everything, and the patient after the full encounter had finished and she had been sorted out, she let me speak with her son on FaceTime, who also has a stutter, and he said something along the lines of, hey, if the student doctor who has a stutter can overcome and still make it, so can you. And it was a really small moment, but still a moment that really inspires me. For the longest time, I saw this stutter as a curse, as something that I should be healed of and everything. But throughout my life, I'm realizing that God's ways are higher than our ways. And this thing that I used to see as an albatross is opening doors. And I think one day, who knows, even now, it's going to inspire and encourage someone who thinks that they have some seemingly insurmountable odds. You know, if God can use me, he can use you, he can use anyone.
That's so good. Actually, that is so amazing. Like when you're talking about like full circle moment of, yes, you're working on the mom, you don't even know that is gonna happen, but like it's not even just for that kid. Like even when you were speaking about it, when for the first time when we had that conversation, it just like, it was like, what, God? Like honestly, all the excuses that I have been having feel like, okay, it's not worth it. And I think that is just a statement, because God can use, I love what you said, God can use anybody, but also you have to be willing.
Yeah, that's true.
And that shows, it's also a testament to your obedience, and also being, God, I'm gonna, like, even if this hurts, I'm gonna like accept you and whatever that you're telling me, and knowing that you are with me, because I'm sure like someone can see you like this and like, yes, like, you know, we as Christians, which I love, we love to say these words, but like when you're walking through them, it can be also difficult, but like, I just want to encourage you on that.
Yeah,
it's like,
I appreciate it.
The Lord is with you, but I also like, I'm so encouraged and I want to encourage you on like your obedience to be like, yes, even if I feel scared, even if I want to give up, even if I can give excuses to whatever that is not letting me do this, no, I'm not going to do so. And that really takes so much faith to do that. And also like, it's just like a testament to God, I think, and brings glory to himself. Looking back, you said about like how hard it was when like before the senior high school, when bring us back with everything that I said in the past statement about like how hard it is. Like, okay, I am going through this. This is the reason why I can't do this, because of what I'm going through. And you have to understand me. It's like, I want you to take us back to that moment, because I really believe like for so many people, that is where they are at. And they feel like, yeah, this is the worst thing that is happening to me in the world. And I loved how you say like how it became like when you read the Bible, and that's where the freedom came. But like before that, I want you to walk us through that time before you find like your freedom. How did it feel like?
Yeah, but it just really felt as if I was wrestling. I was still in that mindset that this stutter is something that is not a good thing, that God's not going to work through it, and that it's something I have to fix. It was really hard being so narrow-minded and not seeing a way that God could work through my weakness. There was a lot of moments where I just felt like God was taking too long, and in that moment I felt as if, well, if he can't fix it, I'm gonna fix it on my own, which led to a lot more self-doubt and anger and insecurity that all could have been avoided had I realized that, you know, he allowed this for a reason, and he wasn't intentional about it this whole time.
I pick up like a few things when you're talking about like, oh, okay, God, if you don't want to do this, like I'm gonna do it myself. And I think it's just something I feel like many Christians also can relate to. It's like, God, you are taking so long. I'm gonna take my own course of actions, which I also think like what happened in Genesis with the story of Abraham and Sarah were like, okay, I think God maybe is not allowing us to have a son because he wants us to go and sleep with the servant that we have. And it's so interesting to me. I haven't found the reason why, but like maybe that is us also wanting to be like not trusting who he is as a person. And I like how you come out to the end of it and you're like, he had intentions with this. It's like we're like, God, you know what, you're not that good. I'm actually greater than you. I'm gonna fix this myself. But like, well, it doesn't work out. But I love his kindness that he doesn't come. He's like, oh, look at you. Like, I know, or mock us or anything, but like when he comes, he actually help us to understand why this is happening. And I think that speaks so much to the kindness of God. And I just love the fact that he also brought us to that. I want to also talk about like the freedom that comes from that. Because as you said, it's like, when you feel like, okay, I have to do this on my own. Actually, our pastor talked about it today. It's like his yoke is easy, his burden is light. But like we have this burden of life that we are carrying by ourselves, and we feel like, okay, God is not helping us. But he's like, no, I just want to do this with you. So can you walk us through like the freedom of being, yes, it still looks the same. It's like God is not delivering me from it, but he's like in it with me, like in these things. What is like the freedom feel like when you're in that situation?
Yeah, the freedom in my case, it looks like confidence, knowing that even in spite of my weakness, God is working through it, and he's going to accomplish a lot through it. And second, Corinthians, God's strength is evidenced best in our weakness. And so it's truly when I'm at my weakest point, my lowest point, that God is shown at his strongest. And so anything that I accomplish in life, all of the victories I have is done in glory of him, because story of the stutter is ultimately a story that shows I could not have made it this far without him.
That's so good. I love, like, okay, my freedom looks like confidence. I'm like, whoa, title. Freedom I'm kidding. But like, that is so true. And the verse that you quote, I love how some people actually quote it like, oh, when I'm weak, then he's strong. But actually it's like, when I'm weak, I am strong, which just like testifies like what the world see as weakness, because God is gonna come to it and show his glory, then that is when I'm strong. And also, like, going back to the story in the hospital room, like, that you feel like probably when you're speaking to this woman, it's like, oh my God, maybe she's not even understanding me, or maybe this is going like this and this and this, but like, that was your strongest point, because now it's not even just about like healing her like physically, but also even a heart of our mom. We are Mother's Day, by the way, to all the mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. But like her heart and how she can encourage her son, like how can she encourage her son? It's like that also healed her in that way. And I feel like that is what I also see in that verse. It's like, when I'm weak, like when I feel like, okay, I can't do anything, then I'm strong, because God is showing up in so many different ways. I really, to this day, like, I really do think like your story is so cool, and God is so good, and oh my God, and he's so kind. You are now you're finishing your medical school. You are kind of finished. You are graduating soon, or have you actually graduated already?
Next week Sunday. So
wow,
yep,
okay,
7
that
days
is so
from
cool.
now.
So probably by the time that people are hearing this, he's a doctor, y'all. So walk me through this. How did you choose that fashion?
I was always super focused on neuroscience. It's a passion I've always had. Early on, I was really set on doing neuroscience research. And so after my undergraduate degree, I pursued a master's in neuroscience, and I spent my time working in a lab with mice and everything. As fun as that was, after a year and a half in that lab, I realized I wanted the more human-facing side of medicine, and so I took the entrance exam, the MCAT, and I applied from there. Ended up here in North Carolina for med school, and it's been an incredible, fulfilling experience.
I actually, for some reason, I really thought like you were actually from North Carolina. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Kingston, Jamaica, but I grew up in South Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Where are you going to do your residency?
First year's going to be in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Then my subsequent 4 years are going to be in Chicago, Illinois.
Asheville's so nice. Like, literally
exciting.
Every summer I go there because I'm from Rwanda, and like it's very mountainous. Like every time I'm going to like there's like a road where I'm seeing all the mountains coming back to North Carolina. I just feel like it has kind of the similar landscape as like another place that I go through when I'm in Rwanda, which is so nice. And then you're gonna be doing like neuroscience or neurology.
I'll be a diagnostic radiologist.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds so cool.
I'll be the type of doctor who interprets scans like X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. Okay, now it puts together. Like the only knowledge I have about like doctor is from my TV shows. I don't have any other ones.
That's valid.
But okay, that sounds so cool. So you came to Charlotte. Was that for like 2 years? What is it? Like the med school is for 2 years.
Yes.
Oh, so you have been moving around.
Yes,
like,
I have. Yeah.
Well, I was like, I also saw that you recently went to London. But what for the time being, like, how has been like? Because I also moved around because I'm also an international student. But like, it can always like kind of feel like I was talking to my friend about this. Like we are like different types. Like every time I go to a place, I literally want to make it home. I'm gonna buy all the furniture, even if it's gonna be expensive, even if I'm gonna spend 1 year there. I'm gonna do everything. But she's someone who's like, I don't even want to buy a bed frame because I think I'm gonna get away from it. Yeah. But like, how in your life, like as you're moving along, how have you seen like God working differently in different spaces, if you don't mind me asking that?
The main takeaway that I have is that through these seasons that change a lot changes, but the one thing that it's constant is just how good God has been. He's just a constant through it all. He sends me friends and, you know, open doors through each season. Every time I'm embarking on a new adventure, I'm tempted to be a little anxious about the uncertainties and the unknown. But in those moments, I can just pause and look back on ways that God has already made a way. He's Jireh, you know, he knows our needs even before we ask them. And so he's faithful to make a way. As I always tell my friends, if he's brought us so far, you know, he'll see it through to the end, you know.
He who started a good work in us will carry it to a completion. I love that verse. It's just, the reason why I recently had like another episode with my friend. We were talking about transitioning. It's just like, I feel like also being a young adult, I feel like it's something that is gonna for sure happen. And sometimes it's like you just want to feel comfortable. It's like, okay, there's a safeness. I just happen to find good people. But as you say, like one thing that I have also found like in the moving is that like he is actually also, the people in our lives are also a gift from God, as you said, and he's gonna provide again in another place. But before we could close up, I just feel like there are, as you say, like they're the little boy, like the son of the person that you met, but also another person who is going through something that feels like heavy physically, and they can see it. But also sometimes it's even an internal wound where they feel like, God, why did you allow this to happen? Yeah. And I like to end a podcast praying over them, but for some reason I feel like you might have like maybe a word that you have been clinging onto on this that you want to share with them before like we can even pray over them as absolutely. Well.
I would say that, you know, even though God hasn't fixed it yet, he hears you. He holds each and every tear. He hears each prayer. He loves you, even in spite of it. And he's so intentional about everything he does that he's allowed this for a reason, for a purpose. What that reason and what that purpose is, I'm not sure. But with time, I believe if you stay faithful, he's going to make that known. So I would just encourage you that those that wait on the Lord will renew their strength on wings like eagles. And don't you ever give up, because if you stay faithful, you'll be looking back and sharing your story of how God set you free and made a way even when there seemed as if there was gonna be no way. So that's what I would say.
That is so good. And he that promise is faithful as well. We are getting to the end of our conversation. I'm so glad that you were here. But I still feel like we should like pray for those people as well, if you feel comfortable as well. Like we can pray over them and then we'll close up our conversation after that one. Okay, absolutely. Nice. Okay, let's pray.
Lord God, I just thank you for this time and for all of the people that this podcast is going to reach. And I just lift up all of those who seem to be going through insurmountable odds, things that they have been praying for years and years, for healing, for deliverance from, Lord. I just pray that in this moment, you would remind them how much you love them and that you are with them in the mountaintop, in the valley, Lord, that you see them, you hear them, God, and that everything you do is intentional, Lord. I pray that you would encourage them, inspire them, and cause them to see their problem through your lens. Their problem may be big, but you are bigger, God. And I pray, Lord, that you would make a way, Father, for each individual that is touched by this podcast, Father, and that through our weaknesses, your name would be glorified, Lord. And it's in Jesus Christ's name that I pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. It has been so amazing to talk to you about this. And I just like also for me, I think I learned so much even right now. I can't wait to see what God is going to do through your life more and more. And I think like actually the biggest thing is yet to come. I am sure like even the people who are listening, like they really felt encouraged by this. And it's one of the stories I feel like I would never forget, honestly.
Thank you.
I actually do. It's such a testimony to God's goodness and power and amazing kindness. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you as well to someone who has been listening to us for this entire time. And I really do hope that God spoke to you through this and whatever that you are going through in this life. And even like maybe different stuff, you might even have said the verse and you heard it in a different way, however the Spirit led it in your life. So see you again in the next episode. And it has been me, Gisela Kamanzi, and
Aaron McFarlane.
Yes. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.